Hello and good day to everybody out there. Welcome to another reading of the book of Isaiah from the Dead Sea Scrolls, chapter 31 through 40. Woe for those who rely on Egypt. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and rely on horses and trust in chariots because there are many, and in horsemen because they are exceeding mightily. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. Yet he also is wise, and bringeth evil, and doth not call his words back, but will arise against the house of the evildoers, and against the help of them that work iniquity. Now the Egyptians are men and not God, and their horse is flesh and not spirit. So when the Lord shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall stumble, and that he that is helped shall fall, and they all shall perish together. For thus said the Lord unto me, like as the lion or the young lion growling over his prey, through a multitude of shepherds be called forth against him, will not be dismayed at their voice, nor abase himself for the noise of them. So will the Lord of hosts come down to fight upon Mount Zion and upon the hill thereof. As birds hovering, so will the Lord of hosts protect Jerusalem. He will deliver as he protecteth it. He will rescue it as he passeth over. Turn ye unto him against whom ye have deeply rebelled, O children of Israel. Mm. For in that day they shall cast away every man his idols of silver and his idols of gold, which your own hands have made unto you for a sin. Then shall Ashur fall with the sword, not of man, and the sword, not of men, shall devour him. And he shall flee from the sword, and his young men shall become tributary, and his rock shall pass away by reason of terror, and his princess shall be dismayed at the ensign, saith the Lord, whose fire is in Zion, and his furnace is in Jerusalem. That reminds me of Grimes and Elon. Um, there's some real wickedness going on with them. I'm not gonna get too far into it and how it reminded me, but if you just start looking at some of these Twitter posts about Elon and Grimes, you'll get the message of why they might be a little um bad. Behold, a king shall reign in righteousness, and as for princess, they shall rule in justice. This is chapter 232, prediction of a righteous reign. And a man shall be in a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as by far the watercourses in a dry land, as in the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. And the eyes of them that shall see not be closed, and the ears of them that hear shall attend. The heart also of the rash shall understand knowledge, and the tongue of the stammerers shall be ready to speak plainly. The vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the churl said to be noble. For the vile person will speak villainly, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice ungodliness, and to utter wickedness against the Lord, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and to cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. The instruments also of the churl are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying hands, and the needy when he speaketh right. Like Elon. But the liberal deviseth liberal things, and by liberal things shall he stand. A prediction of disaster for the careless women of Israel. Rise up, ye women that are at ease, and hear my voice, ye confident daughters, give ear unto my speech. After a year and days shall ye be troubled, ye confident women, for the vintage shall fail, and the ingathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease, be troubled, ye confident ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins, smiting upon the breast for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine, for the land of my people, whereon horns and breers come up, for all the houses of joy and the joyous city. For the palace shall be forsaken, and the city with its stir shall be deserted. The mound and the tower shall be for dens forever, a joy of wild asses, a pasture of flocks. Until the Spirit be poured upon us from the high, and the wilderness become a fruitful field, and the fruitful field be counted for a forest, then justice shall dwell in the wilderness, and righteousness shall abide in the fruitful field. And the work of righteousness shall be peaceful, and the effect of righteousness, quietness and confidence forever. And my people shall abide in a peaceful habitation, and in secure dwellings, and in quiet resting places. And it shall hail in the downfall of the forest, but the city shall descend into the valley. Happy are ye that sow beside all waters, that send forth freely the feet of ox and the ass. Chapter 33. The Lord rescues Zion. Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled. Thou wast not spoiled. And dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou hast ceased to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou art weary with dealing treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. O Lord, be gracious unto us. We have waited for thee. Be thou their arm every morning, our salvation also in the time of trouble. At the noise of the tumult, the peoples are fled. At the lifting up of thyself, the nations are scattered. And your spoil is gathered as the caterpillar gathereth, as locusts leap dew, they leap upon it. The Lord is exalted, for he dwelleth on high. He hath filled Zion with justice and righteousness. And the stability of thy time shall be a hoard of salvation, wisdom and knowledge, and the fear of the Lord, which is his treasure. Behold, their valiant ones cry without, the ambassadors of peace weep bitterly. The highways lie waste, the wayfaring man seizeth, he hath broken the covenant, he hath despised the cities, he regardeth not man. The land mourneth and languisheth. Lebanon is ashamed, it withereth. Sharon is like a wilderness, and Bashan and Carmel are clean bare. Now will I arise, said the Lord. Now will I be exalted. Now will I lift myself up. Yea, convince chaff, yea, shall bring forth stubble. Your breath is a fire that shall devour you, and the peoples shall be as the burnings of lime, as thorns cut down that are burned in the fire. Hear ye that are far off, what have I done? And ye that are near, acknowledge my might. The sinners in Zion are afraid. Trembling has seized the ungodly. Who are among us that shall dwell with the devouring fire? Who among us shall dwell with everlasting burnings? He that walketh righteously and speaketh uprightly, he that despiseth the gain of oppressions, that shaketh his hand from holding of bribes, that stoppeth his ears from hearing of blood, and shutteth his eyes from looking upon evil, he shall dwell on high. His place of defense shall be the munitions of rocks. His bread shall be given, his waters shall be sure. So listen, many times has the Bible told you how to receive the blessings. You must be strong. You know what to do. The Lord as king over Zion. Thine eyes shall see the king in his beauty. They shall behold a land stretching afar. Thy heart shall muse on the terror. Where is he that counted? Where is he that weighed? Where is he that counted the towers? Thou shalt not see the fierce people, a people of a deep speech that thou canst not perceive, of a stammering tongue that thou canst not understand. Look upon Zion, the city of solemn gatherings. Thine eyes shall see a Jerusalem of peaceful habitation, a tent that shall not be removed, the stakes whereof shall never be plucked up, neither shall any of the cords thereof be broken. But there the Lord will be with us in majesty, in a place of broad rivers and streams, wherein shall no galley with oars, wherein shall go no galley with oars, neither shall gallant ship pass thereby. For the Lord is our judge, the Lord is our lawgiver, the Lord is our king, he will save us. Thy tacklings are loosed, they do not hold the stand of their mast, they do not spread the sail. Then is the prey of the great spoil divided. The lame take the prey, and the inhabitant shall not say, I am sick. The people that dwell therein shall be forgiven their iniquity. Chapter 34, the Lord's verdict against the nations. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and attend, ye peoples. Let the earth hear, and the fullness thereof, the world and all the things that come forth of it. For the Lord hath indignation against all the nations, and fury against all their hosts. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain all shall be cast out, and the stench of their carcasses shall come up, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood, and all the hosts of heaven shall molder away, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword has drunk its fill in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Edom, and against the people of my band to judgment. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of kidneys and rams. For the Lord hath sacrificed in Bozrah, and a great slaughter in the land of Edom. And the wild oxen shall come down with them, and the bullocks with them bulls, and their land shall be drunk with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness. The day of vengeance. For the Lord hath a vengeance, a year of recompensance for the controversy of Zion, and the steams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall be burning pitch. It shall not be quenched night nor day, the smoke thereof shall go up forever. From generation to generation it shall lie waste, none shall pass through it forever and ever, but the pelican and the bittern shall possess it, and the owl and the raven shall dwell therein, and he shall stretch over it the line of confusion and the plummet of emptiness. As for her nobles, none shall be there to be called to the kingdom, and all her princes shall be nothing, and thorns shall come up in her palaces, nettles and thistles in the fortresses thereof, and it shall be a habitation of wild dogs and a closure for ostriches. And the wild cat shall meet with the jackals, and the satyr shall cry to his fellow. Yeah, the night monster shall repose there, and shall find her a place of rest. There shall The arrow snake make her nest and lay and hatch and brood under her shadow. Yet there shall the kites be gathered, every one with her mate. Seek ye out the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall be missing, none shall want her mate. For my mouth it had commanded, and the breath thereof it hath gathered them. And he hath cast the lot for them, and his hand hath divided it unto them by line. They shall possess it forever, from generation to generation shall they dwell therein. Chapter 35, Return of the Ransomed to Zion. The wilderness and the parched land shall be glad, and the desert shall rejoice, and the blossom of the rose, it shall blossom abundantly and rejoice, even with joy and singing. The glory of Lebanon shall be given unto it, and the excellence of Carmel and Sharon. They shall see the glory of the Lord, the excellency of our God. Strengthen it, ye the weak hands, and make firm the tottering knees. Say to them that are of a fearful heart, be strong, fear not. Behold, your God will come with vengeance, with the recompense of God. He will come and save you. Then the eyes of the blind shall be open, and the ears of the deaf shall be unstopped. For shall the lame man leap as a hart, and the tongue of the dumb shall sing. For in the wilderness shall waters break out, and streams in the desert. And the parched land shall become a pool, and the thirsty ground springs of water. In the inhabitation of jackal herds shall lie down. It shall be an enclosure for reeds and rushes, and a highway shall be there, and a way. It shall be called the way of holiness. The unclean shall not pass over it, but it shall be for those. The wayfaring men, fools, shall not err therein. No lion shall be there, nor shall any ravenous beast go up thereon. They shall not be found there, but the redeemed shall walk there. And the ransomed of the Lord shall return and come with singing unto Zion, and everlasting joy shall be upon their heads. They shall obtain gladness and joy, and sorrow and sighing shall flee away. Chapter 36. Let me pronounce that. Eliakim treats with Sennacherib's captain. Now it came to pass in the 14th year of King Hezekiah that Sennacherib, king of Assyria, came up against all the fortified cities of Judah and took them. And the king of Assyria sent Rabshakeh from Lachish to Jerusalem unto King Hezekiah with a great army, and he stood by the conduit of the upper pool in the highway of the fuller's field. Then he came forth unto him Eliakim the son of Hilkiah, that was over the household, and Shebna the scribe, and Joah the son of Asaph the recorder. And Rabshakeh said unto him, say ye now to Hezekiah, thus saith the great king, the king of Assyria, what confidence is this wherein thou trustest? I said, it is but vain words, for counsel and strength are for the war. Now whom dost thou trust that thou hast rebelled against me? Behold, thou trustest upon the staff of this bruised reed, even upon Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh king of Egypt to all that trust on him? But if thou say unto me, we trust in the Lord of our God, is not that he whose high places and whose altars Hezekiah had taken away, and hath said to Judah and Jerusalem, ye shall worship before this altar? Now, therefore, I pray thee, make a wager with my master, the king of Assyria, and I will give thee 2,000 horses, if thou be able on thy part to set riders upon them. How then canst thou turn away the face of one captain, even of the least of my master's servants? Yet thou puttest thy trust on Egypt for chariots and for horsemen. And am I now come up without the Lord against this land to destroy it? The Lord said unto him, Go up against this land and destroy it. Then said Eliakim and Shebna and Joah unto Rabshakeh, Speak, I pray thee, unto to thy servants in the Aramean language, for we understand it, and speak not to us in the Jews' language, in the ears of the people that are on the wall. Rabshakeh's pronouncement. But Rabshakeh said, Had my master sent me to thy master and to thee to speak these words, hath he not sent me to the men that sit upon the wall to eat their own dung, to drink their own water with you? Then Rabshakeh stood and cried with a loud voice in the Jews' language and said, Hear ye the words of the great king, the king of Assyria. Thus said the king, Let not Hezekiah beguile you, for he will not be able to deliver you. Neither let Hezekiah make you trust in the Lord, saying, The Lord will surely deliver us. This city shall not be given into the hand of the king of Assyria. Hearken not to Hezekiah. For thus saith the king of Assyria, Make your peace with me, and come out to me, and eat, yea, every one of his vine, and every one of his fig tree, and drink ye every one of the waters of his own cistern, until I come and take you away to a land like your own land, a land of corn and wine, a land of bread and vineyards. Beware lest Hezekiah persuade you, saying, The Lord will deliver us. Hath any of the gods of the nation delivered his land out of the hand of the king of Assyria? Where are the gods of Hamath and Harpad? Where are the gods of the Sepharvaim? And have they delivered Samaria out of my hand? Who are they among all the gods of these countries that have delivered their country out of my hand, that the Lord shall deliver out of my hand, that the Lord shall deliver Jerusalem out of my hand? But they held their peace and answered him not a word. For the king's commandment was saying, Answer him not. Then came Eliakim the son of Hilkiah, that was over the household, and Shebna the scribe, and Joah the son of Asaph the recorder, to Hezekiah with their clothes rent, and told him the words of Rabshakeh. Chapter 37, Hezekiah consults with Isaiah. And it came to pass, when King Hezekiah heard it, that he rent his clothes and covered himself with sackcloth and went into the house of the Lord. And he sent Eliakim, who was over the household, and Shebna the scribe, and the elders of the priests covered with sackcloth, unto Isaiah the prophet, the son of Amoz. And they said unto him, Thus said Hezekiah, This day is a day of trouble and of rebuke and contumely, for the children are come to the birth, and there is not strength to bring forth. It may be the Lord that God will hear the words of Rabshakeh, whom the king of Assyria, his master, sent to taunt the living God, and will rebuke the words which the Lord thy God hath heard, whereof make prayer for the remnant that is left. So the servants of King Hezekiah came to Isaiah, and Isaiah said unto them, Thus shall ye say to your master, Thus say the Lord, Be not afraid of the words that thou hast heard, wherewith the servants of the king of Assyria have a blasphemed me. Behold, I will put a spirit in him, and he shall hear a rumor and shall return unto his homeland. And I will cause him to fall by the sword of his own land. Look, man, God and the Lord definitely does these type of things. As far as you can see in the mainstream news, there's all these talks of conspiracy theories, and if you look back at some of these celebrities who are part of these conspiracy theories, they change their lives. They're like, oh, oh, this is the rumor, and it's like God putting a spirit, like God instilling the truth, or not the truth, but the a rumor that leads them to the truth. So it's pretty hilarious. Rabshakeh responds to the Ethiopian threat. So Rabshakeh returned and found the king of Assyria warring against Libnah, for he had heard that he was departed from Lachish, and he heard saying concerning Tirhakah, king of Ethiopia, he is come out to fight against thee. And when he heard it, he sent messengers to Hezekiah, saying, Thus shall speak to Hezekiah, king of Judah, saying, Let not thy God in whom thou trustest beguile thee, saying, Jerusalem shall not be given into the hand of the king of Assyria. Behold, thou hast heard what the kings of Assyria have done to the land by destroying them utterly, and shall thou be delivered? Have the gods of the nations delivered them, which my fathers have destroyed? Gozan and Haran and Revzaph and the children of Eden that were in Telasar? Where is the king of Hamath and the king of Arpad and the king of the city of Sepharvim, of Hena and of Iva? Hezekiah's prayer. And Hezekiah received the letter from the hand of the messengers and read it. And Hezekiah went up into the house of the Lord and spread it before the Lord. And Hezekiah prayed unto the Lord, saying, O Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, that sittest upon the cherubim, thou art the God, even thou alone of all the kingdoms of heaven. Thou hast made heaven and earth. Incline thine ear, O Lord, and hear. Open thine eyes, O Lord, and see and hear all the words of Sennacherib, who has sent to taunt the living God. Of a truth, Lord, the kings of Assyria have laid waste to all the countries in their land, and have cast their gods into the fire, for they were no gods, but the work of men's hands, wood and stone thereof they have destroyed them. Now, therefore, O Lord our God, save us from his hand, that all the kingdoms of the earth may know that thou art the Lord, even thou only. The Lord's response. Then Isaiah the son of Amoz sent unto Hezekiah, saying, Thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, whereas thou hast prayed to me against Sennacherib, king of Assyria, this is the word which the Lord hath spoken concerning him. The virgin daughter of Zion hath despised thee and laughed thee to scorn. The daughter of Jerusalem hath shaken her head at thee. Whom hast thou taunted and blasphemed? And against whom hast thou exalted my voice? Yeah, thou hast lifted up thine eyes on high, even against the Holy One of Israel. By thy servants hast thou taunted the Lord, and hast said, With the multitude of my chariots am I to come up to the height of the mountains and to the innermost part of Lebanon? And I have cut down the tall cedars thereof, and the choice cypress trees thereof, and I have entered into his farthest height, the forest of his fruitful field. I have digged and drunk water, and with the sole of my feet I have dried up all the rivers of Egypt. Hast thou not heard? Long ago I made it, in ancient times I fashioned it. Now have I brought it to pass? Yeah, it is done. The fortified cities should be laid waste into ruinous heaps. Therefore, their inhabitants were of small power. They were dismayed and confounded. They were as the grass in the field and as the green herb. Green herb. Cannabis. As the grass on the housetops and as a field of corn before it grown up. But I know thy sitting down and thy going out and thy coming in and thy raging against me because of thy raging against me, for that thine uproar is come up into mine ears. Therefore will I put my hook in thy nose and my bridle in thy lips, and I will turn thee back thy way by which thou camest. And this shall be the sign unto thee: ye shall not eat this year which groweth of itself. Oh, ye shall eat this year that which groweth of itself, and in the second year that which springeth of the same, and the third year sow ye and reap and plant vineyards and eat the fruit thereof. So grow your own food and eat it. and the remnant that is escaped of the house of Judah shall again take root downward and bear fruit upward. For out of Jerusalem shall go forth a remnant, and out of Mount Zion they shall escape, and the zeal of the Lord of hosts shall perform this thereof. Thus said the Lord concerning the king of Assyria, he shall not come unto the city, nor shoot an arrow there, neither shall he come before it with shield, nor cast a mound against it. By the way that he came, by the same shall he return, and he shall not come unto the city, said the Lord. For I will defend the city to save it for mine own sake, and for my servant David's sake. And the angel of the Lord went forth, and smote in the camp of the Assyrians 185,000. And when men arose early in the morning, behold, they were all dead corpses. So Sennacherib, king of Assyria, departed and went and returned and dwelt at Nineveh. And it came to pass, as he was worshipping in the house of Nisroch, his god, the Adramelech, and Siserazzar, his son, smote him with the sword, and they escaped unto the land of Aradat. And Esarhaddon, his son, reigned in his stead. Chapter 38, Hezekiah's sickness. In those days was Hezekiah sick unto death, and Isaiah the prophet, the son of Amoz, came to him and said unto him, Thus said the Lord, set thy house in order, for thou shalt die and not live. Then Hezekiah turned his face to the wall and prayed unto the Lord, and remembered, Now, O Lord, I beseech thee, how have I walked before thee in truth and with a whole heart, and have done that which is good in thy sight? And Hezekiah wept sore. Then came the word of the Lord, saying to Isaiah, Go and say to Hezekiah, Thus said the Lord, the God of David, thy father, I have heard thy prayer, I have seen thy tears. Behold, I will add unto thy days 15 years, and I will deliver thee in this city out of the hand of the king of Assyria, and I will defend this city. And this shall be the sign unto thee from the Lord, that the Lord will do this thing that he has spoken. Behold, I will cause the shadow of the dial which is gone down on the sundial of Ahaz to return backward 10 degrees. So the sun returned 10 degrees, by which degrees it was gone down. Okay, so that's interesting. Because in different parts of the history, um, there's things known as Kali Yugas, and those are time periods, right? These time periods were known to be different days per year. So, thinking about this statement, he's returning the sun back 10 dials, 10 degrees. Um, I mean, I don't know exactly how that fits, but it's just interesting. What does that even mean? Would that interplay with like daylight savings or pole switch or uh like what I had mentioned, the years being different with that's just an interesting thing that that could mean a lot considering their level of education. These dudes were highly educated. They watched the stars, they watched the sun, they watched the moon. Well, not every culture did the same exact thing, but as a collective on Earth, uh, that's the stuff that they were doing. They were building super highly technological devices, acoustical formations, and um, stuff of these natures. And so that's an interesting statement. It returned back 10 degrees. I'm gonna think about that more. Hezekiah's thanksgiving for healing, and the writing of Hezekiah, king of Judah, when he had been sick and was recovered of his sickness. I said, In the noontide of my days I shall go, even to the gates of the netherworld, and I am deprived of the residue of my years. I said, I shall not see the Lord, even the Lord in the land of the living, and I should behold man no more with the inhabitants of the world. My habitation is plucked up and carried away from me as a shepherd's tent. I have rolled up like a weaver in my life. He will cut me off from the thrum From day even to night wilt thou make an end of me. The more I make myself like unto a lion until morning, the more it breaketh all my bones. From day even to night will thou make an end of me. Like a swallow or a crane, so do I chatter, do moan as a dove. Mine eyes fail with looking upward. O Lord, I am oppressed. Be thou my surety. What shall I say? My hath broken spoken unto me, and himself hath done it. I shall go softly all my years for the bitterness of my soul. O Lord, by these things men live, and altogether therein is the life of my spirit. Wherefore recover thou me, and make me to live. Behold, for my peace I had great bitterness, but thou hast in my love, in my soul, delivered it from the pit of corruption. For thou hast cast all my sins behind thy back. For the nether world cannot praise thee, death cannot celebrate thee. They not go down to the pit cannot hope for that truth. They that go down into the pit cannot hope for thy truth. That tells a lot for people in society. If you look at just realistically, if you look at people who are in those very dark states where they feel very pitful, they don't want to believe anything, they're just lacking positivity, truth, love, and they want to dwell in darkness. They don't like truth. They just, if you tell them truth, they hate it and they run and they go do bad things. The living, he shall praise thee. As I do this day, the Father to the children shall make known thy truth. The Lord is ready to save me there. For we shall sing songs to the stringed instruments all the days of our life in the house of the Lord. And Isaiah said, let them take a cake of figs and lay it for a plaster upon the boil, and he shall recover. And Hezekiah said, what is the sign that I shall go up to the house of the Lord? Chapter 39, the Babylonian envoys. Jeez. At the time of Merodach, Baladan, the son of Baladan, the king of Babylon, sent a letter and a present to Hezekiah, for he heard that he had been sick and was recovered. And Hezekiah was glad of them and showed them the treasure house, the silver, the gold, the spices, and the precious oil, and all the house of his armor, and all that was found in his treasures. There was nothing in his house, nor all in his dominion that Hezekiah showed them not. When then came Isaiah the prophet unto King Hezekiah and said unto them, what said these men, and from whence came they unto thee? And Hezekiah said, they are from a far country unto me, even from Babylon. Then he said, what have they seen in thy house? And Hezekiah answered, all that is in my house have they seen. There is nothing among my treasures that I have not showed them. And then said Isaiah to Hezekiah, hear the word of the Lord of hosts. Behold, the days come that all that is in thy house, and that which thy fathers have laid up in store until this day, shall be carried to Babylon. Nothing shall be left, said the Lord. And of thy sons that shall issue from thee, whom thou shalt begat, shall they take away, and they shall be officers in the palace of the king of Babylon. And then said Hezekiah unto Isaiah, good is the word of the Lord which thou hast spoken. He said, moreover, if but there shall be peace and truth in my days. Um, that's interesting. Uh, um, because I don't think Babylon was always evil. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have to do some research because I think that it was taken over. Like, a lot of these cultures are taken over and turned into darkness. Like, the Catholics. Sorry, buddies. Sorry, guys. You guys are nice, right? But you guys were taken over by people. And sometimes even these Christian ministries. I am leaning more towards Christianity these days, but there are still some ministries who you can tell are not really true to the Lord. So as far as when it talks about Babylon, I'm not sure what it's really talking about. I'm gonna definitely continue on with these readings, and more will be revealed as the days come. Chapter 40, comfort for God's people. Comfort ye, my people, saith your God. Bid Jerusalem take heart and proclaim unto her that her time of service is accomplished, that her guilt is paid off, that she hath recovered the Lord's hands doubled for all her sins. Hark, one calleth, clear ye in the wilderness the way of the Lord, make plain in the desert a highway for our God. Every valley shall be lifted up, and every mountain and hill shall be made low, and the rugged shall be made level, and the rough places a plain, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together, for the mouth of the Lord has spoken it. Hark, one saith, proclaim, and he saith, what shall I proclaim? All flesh is grass, and all the goodliness thereof is as a flower of the field. The grass withereth, the flower fadeth, because the breath of the Lord bloweth upon it. Surely the people is grass. The grass withereth, the flower fadeth, but the word of our God shall stand forever. The Lord comes with power. O thou tellest good tidings to Zion. Get thee up to the high mountain. Get thee up to thy high mountain. O thou tellest good tidings to Jerusalem. Lift up thy voice with strength. Lift it up. Be not afraid. Say unto the cities of Judah, behold your God. Behold, the Lord God will come as a mighty one, and his arm will rule for him. Behold, his reward is with him, and his recompense before him. Even as a shepherd that feedeth his flock, that gathereth the lambs in his arm, and that carrieth them in his bosom, and gently leadeth those that give suck, who hath measured the waters in the hollow of his hand, and meted out heaven with a span, and comprehended the dust of the earth in a measure, and weighed the mountains in scales, and the hills in a balance, who hath meted out the spirit of the Lord, or who was his counselor that he might instruct him? With whom took he counsel and instructed him, and taught him in the path of right, and taught him knowledge, and made him to know the way of discernment? Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance. Behold, the isles are as a mote of weight, and Lebanon is not sufficient fuel, nor the beast thereof sufficient for burnt offerings. All the nations are as nothing before him. They are accounted by him as things of naught and vanity. God is incomparable. To whom then will ye liken God, or what likeliness will ye compare unto him? The image perchance which the craftsman hath melted, and the goldsmith spread over with gold, and silversmith casting silver chains. A whole oak is set apart. He chooseth a tree that will not rot. He seeketh unto him a cunning craftsman to set up an image that shall not be moved. Know ye not, hear ye not? Hath it not been told to you from the beginning? Have ye not understood the foundations of this earth? It is he that sitteth above the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in, that bringeth pieces to nothing. He maketh the judges of the earth as thing of naught. Scarce as they planted, scarce as are they sown, scarce hath their stock taken root. Has their stock taken root in the earth, and when he bloweth upon them, they wither, and the whirlwind taketh them away as stubble. To whom then will ye liken me, that I should be equal, saith the Holy One? Lift your eyes upon me. Lift up your eyes on high, and see who hath created thee. He that bringeth out their host by number, he calleth them all by name, by the greatness of his might, and for that he is strong in power. not one faileth. Why sayest thou, O Jacob, and speakest, O Israel, my way is hid from the Lord, and my right is passed over from my God? Hast thou not known? Hast thou not heard that the everlasting God, the Lord, the creator of the ends of the earth, fainteth not, neither is weary? His discernment is past searching out. He giveth power to the faint, and to him that hath no might he seizeth strength. Even the youth shall be faint and weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. But they wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. And with that is my finale for this reading. Um, yeah, that's a bit quicker than most. Usually about an hour to read about 10 chapters. Hey, Chad Smith podcast over there. That's the homie. Go check him out. Hey, good to see you too, dude. So, you know, what we're seeing going on around the world is nothing new to people who read history and who understand the Lord and understand, our spiritual importance on this earth. We kind of see that there's this calamity. It was destined, but two huge forces are fighting. One is nature and God, and the other is artificial and the devil or something. And you can see the powers are rising between the human bodies and oppositely the technology that's against us. So we have our own human technology, which is instilled by God, like nature and happiness and love and vibrations and good feelings and natural chemicals. And those are actually raising too, like on a conscious level, as a global level. We all feel each other. All of our hormones across the world kind of vibrate with each other, and so even the IQ, and collectively we're gaining. But that also means that the dark ones want to match us. So, don't be so drowned out by all this technology. Like, yeah, I'll be posting, but dude, like, you'll see that I don't have my phone in my hands a lot. Like, I'll get the post, I'll see something, I'll post it, and then I'll put my phone down, and I'll play a podcast, and I won't touch my phone for hours. You know, I'm in front of the laptop, but I'm not really like hands all over it and you know going through all these different funny games and wicked memes. I'm not getting lost in the trap of it. I'm using the technology to benefit, and for the most part, man, I usually stay off all this. Because if you could see, if you follow their system, they want you to get all negative, and you know, there's a whole bunch of drama with all that lifestyle. It's even radiationally poisoning you. Anyways, man, like our natural side is pretty much eat organic, pray, because prayer is this form of meditation, this form of higher divine electrostatic states that can be felt by heaven or spirits or God or anything that can read electricity that's in the invisible dimensions, which might be like an angelic ancestor or something, we have that in us and we can use it to our benefit. Like we aren't weak. We are very strong, and when we use that strength, when we know how to believe in ourselves and we know what to do upon the earth, we get blessed. We see the light, we do better, and we definitely feel a lot more love, you know, when you live in these natural states, of eating right, working out, praying, doing the good, nice, happy things with your homies and friends and family, and you know, hey, you guys have a wonderful night. This was an interesting read. I'm definitely excited to continue on. Yeah, you know, I'm getting a little bit better on the mic. Trust me, man. Like it's not so easy, you know, for everyone. I'm just happy I can do this and share this because I just love reading these things. These words. These are words very uncommon in society, and they have such powerful meanings. And to know that there is historical data to match a lot of this is pretty fascinating, dude. Like most of the books and movies that a lot of people watch these days don't have any real intellectual data. Not all, there's a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of good stuff, but you definitely know that there's some nonsense. And so when I stumble upon things like this that show a lot of true data in history, like it's like gold, dude. Cause there's, these hidden realms that we have to work with. As God says, he's up there and he demands respect. Like, yeah, bro, I don't want to get into it. I'm pretty tired. Hey, you guys have a wonderful night. God bless. You get where I'm going. I love y'all. Peace.